Hey, Chris.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Are you logged into this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't start the meeting or share my screen.
No, I'm logged in. I'm here. Yeah. All your stuff is coming up. When I click on share screen, it's all your stuff is there.
Mine says host disabled participant screen sharing.
No, actually, that's not your screen. That's my shit. Yeah. Are you logged in as host with the first selectman at and the 81 Clitheroe?
Yes.
All right, so you should be in charge then.
It shows Chris Lipke as host and then Chris Lipke as me.
Yeah, because I think I come up as host because when I set it up, I put my name there. I should have put something else.
Okay, so do we want to just both of us jump out of here and then go back in?
Yeah, I can. Let me log out. I'll log out, and you can log back in and try to set it up.
All right.
Okay.
No. No.
All right, let's see who we have here. We have, let me change my name on here so we don't get confused. Rename. All right, so there's me. Jeanette's 2, Mike is 3. Homer is Jason. 5 is Matt. And I think Chris is the one dialed in. So we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, we'll give another 3 minutes and we'll get started then.
Hey, Dan?
Yeah.
Do I have to click share screen?
Yeah.
I'm already on the screen.
You're on the screen. You just share your stuff. Or not screen, share your stuff. The video should be there.
Oh, no, right here. Yeah.
Sure.
We see you.
And what's
Well,
on-
thanks, Mike. Like I said, I'm pretty ignorant with technology.
No worries.
I don't know, how do I get on though?
Well, you got the app.
Okay.
You have an app, just put in the numbers.
Well, where's the number to the phone? Oh,
Tell them what's
let's
in.
hope it doesn't. There we go.
Hey, Chris, you by yourself or do you have anybody with you?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Where's, oh,
I have Rob with me again. Yeah, we're on our third date now, so watch out. Yeah.
I have to meeting, and then that passed with the same thing
Same thing. That's what you do. You use the app.
on the phone. Okay, but hopefully we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Hopefully the computer will be good.
Or
Because
Well,
computer, I
that's-
put you on one
Is
computer.
that who's speaking right now?
One.
Oh, that's Christine.
Oh.
All right, let's go ahead and get started then. We have me for 1, Jeanette 2, Mike Lee 3, 4, Jason Levine, 5, Matt Bruno, and 6, Rob Tuttle. All right, let me see if I can share the screen. I think that should do it. Do you everybody see the agenda?
Yes.
All right. All right, first thing on the agenda, called meeting to order. I did. We have a quorum. All Board of Finance members are sitting as full members. Public comment or approval of minutes. I don't have any minutes for this meeting. We'll put them all together. All the draft minutes are up on the website. We'll get them all together at the next meeting and approve all the minutes. Because the reality is they have to be out. They have to be out in the public before they're approved anyway. So anyhow, public comment. Let me see if I can bring up the screen where I can see if hands get raised or whatever. That doesn't help. Yeah, I don't know. Somewhere in here at 3 people, see waiting room. All right, admit all. There's the screen. All right, we're in the public participation portion of the meeting. If anyone wants to speak, please raise your hand within the application or speak up. All right, let me scroll down. Okay, I don't see anybody right now. All right, so we'll move to the next item on the agenda, which is old business. Chris, do you have anything new about with regard to the town budget?
Well, we addressed the town budget. We took what the Board of Finance said at the last meeting. We made some adjustments and we came in at the figure you guys wanted, which was $2,956,000, 240 cents. So we're spot on bottom line where you wanted us to be in order to make all your numbers work.
Chris, could you repeat that number again? I have a different number that we're looking for.
Yeah, 2,956,240.
Okay, because we were looking at 303, but you're going 240?
That's lower, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
a little bit lower, yeah, because you guys went for 16,700, and I just rounded it up to 17 because I wasn't messing around with $250, so I overachieved for you.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm just writing a number right here. I have a comment on that budget. I wonder, I looked at 4:30 today after the close of business for you guys, and there was nothing posted. So I have no sheets that I can look at. So what's with that?
Hey, I'm surprised by that because I came back from the dentist. I had it 11, and after Patty had plugged in the new numbers, and I had her send it to post it on the town webpage, as well as sent it out to the Canterbury Budget at Gmail address and up to Ray's address to disseminate. So it's floating around somewhere, but it should be there.
I looked under the Board of Finance and I didn't see it. Should I have looked under the Board of Selectmen?
Check under the Board of Selectmen. That might be it.
All right, I'll look there later. Mr. Chairman, may I make a couple comments here? You're muted, Ray, and I'm not hearing anything. may I make some comments?
Yes, the town budget we had for the last meeting, I just brought up the draft minutes. We had them at 2973420. So we're gonna have to, if we decide to accept that number that they provided, then we'll have to get to that make that as part of our motion. Go ahead, Jeanette.
Okay, just a comment offhand. This year, the Board of Selectmen for the current fiscal year had come in under last year, the year before. They also returned $190,000 that we anticipate coming back in once fiscal closes. That's an extraordinary accomplishment. They've given money back over and over again. Right now, their budget is down $144,783 from last year's approved budget. I think that's a phenomenal job on the part of our selectmen. And I'm not sucking up. I just want to say thank you for them for doing it. And it's a major accomplishment. So I had said at the beginning of this whole thing that if the selectmen come in under last year's, I'm not questioning it. I just think it's an extraordinary, successful job with our selectmen, keeping our fiscal responsibility in check. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeanette. And it's a group effort really between the elected officials and the employees in town to try to drive the best value that we can. But I appreciate your kind words.
Well, given the atmosphere in the town hall, I can see that it is a collaborative. Thank you.
All right, Chris, can you summarize what cuts you had to make to get to that figure?
Yeah, working with the two things that it came up, we worked with the library, and so we adjusted some of the library's requests for funding. So line 1150, which is library, it's entitled, we funded at $19,707. And line 1153, which is the library staff line, we funded at $68,962. So both of those were reduced. And then we reduced the Parks and Recreation Parks and Grounds line. We reduced that down to $4,000. So we dropped that. We dropped that down, and then we dropped down a little bit on our GASB funding line as well. So that rounded all, that all came in at $17,000 reduction.
All right, there we go. All right, thank you, Chris. Does anybody else have any questions for Chris on the town budget?
Chris, I have a question. There's a concern with the CIP budget that we're going to be taking some things for mowing and stuff, which are not the threshold that we have always assumed in there. From your point of view, would it be better for us to put the PRE expenditures back into your budget? You know, take that rec and put in their PRE money, and then we take it out on the revenue side so that they can draw down smaller items that are appropriate?
They can draw down CIP for whatever items that they need that are related to capital improvement.
All right, so there's no threshold of amount that they have to meet first, only
We
to put
talked about
in.
that
but
the
not
last
to take
meeting.
out.
The only
Okay.
thing that there is a criteria for is, you know, minimum threshold of 10,000 to get into the CIP.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions for Chris? All right, next we move on to education budget. And we got Nancy, we got the superintendent, and we have Michelle. So whoever.
Well, we were able to get the budget down, as you asked, down to 11,786,282. And there were a couple things, and I don't know if Michelle or Jim want to actually explain those. I will let them explain if they want.
Okay, hold on, just before we go on. The number can you repeat the number that you just stated?
786,282.
282. Okay,
So
thank you.
11786-282.
11786-282. Okay,
That
go
was a
ahead.
reduction of $50,810.
Okay,
I can go ahead and speak to those reductions.
Thank you.
Yep. So we had the special ed tuition. Corey's been working really hard at getting our high school placements in check, and she's been meeting with a lot of the students and the families since she's been here. And that will, due to a high school placement change that she had made, there is a savings there of $30,200. And then we had, June is our open enrollment period for our insurance. So we did have an insurance change. Someone changed from family to single, so that we were able to reduce the insurance there, and that's $20,610. So both of those added together is the $5,810.
all right, very good. Any questions for the Board of Education?
I don't have a question, but just a comment to the whole overall situation. This budget that they are proposing here to be approved is still $203,753 over last year's. That puts them at $292,324 over the state MBR. So given the increase, I would ask that the school board tighten your belts before you come back to school, and don't come back for more money, because you're also getting over $84,000 in the COVID money. So I would expect, from a Board of Finance point of view, my personal opinion is that you should not be coming back for us for anything. So please bear that in mind as you run this school year forward.
Well, I think too, when we presented the budget to you, we said there were a lot of unknowns, but it's not our intent to come back to you at all. That we will live with the appropriation, and with the CARES money. It's not a lot, but we'll between the CARES money, which is, again, you said $84,775. It's not a lot. That's pretty much all taken up now with PPEs and with additional IT stuff. But it's our intent to live within this budget and be very frugal, and hopefully with no, as long as I'm here, with no unusual surprises. I hope again next year we'll be able to return a fair amount of money to the town. So we're not going to be on a coming in each month and we only have 5,000 up or 5,000 down. We're going to be frugal. I can tell you we're about to hire 3 people, and I'm very aware of our financial situation and salaries and everything else, and we hire those people.
Now, Mr. Connolly, you're our interim superintendent?
I am now, and I will be for part of the summertime.
August. Okay, so as of August 3rd or whatever it is that the new person comes on, that you give me so much confidence when you say we will not look to come back, we aren't going to overspend, we are going to return. That we ends in August. So I guess my words, sir, are not necessarily to you, but the rest of the school board that I am entrusting spending almost $12 million with. So thank you for your service.
Okay, thank you. I'm just saying the budget that you gave us, we can live with.
There's that we word.
I appreciate that, James. I mean, that's all we can do is ask for everybody to do their level best and pray that it all holds together by the end of the year.
Yeah, Jim, I want to thank you too. I know the Board of Education has worked to tighten this budget up, and I think you guys have really done a great job, and really, you have really been team players. Provided us, the Board of Finance, the information that we needed. I think the new incoming superintendent, Steve Rio, he is a lead player as well, to your point, Jeanette, and that is a good. So he's very involved, from what I understand, from people who he works with in his town in Killingly. He's very involved in all aspects of the district, and he's a really down to earth guy, and I think he's going to work really well and with the board.
That's all great, but we can't really talk about any kind of employee performance or anything else. They're not our employee. That's up for the board of ed to decide whether they like them or not. We can just, as individuals, have our own opinions.
Yep, and that was just my opinion.
Thank you.
You're at a board meeting.
Jeanette had her opinion, so I'm going to voice mine. Thank you.
I'm going to tell you that if you make that, if you mention another employee's performance, you won't be speaking at the meeting any longer.
Well, Mr. Chairman, he's not yet an employee of the district.
We have a contract with him. He is
Right.
under contract.
I am not speaking of his performance. I
Why
have
is this an
no
argument? Do not discuss employee performance or our expectations of employees when they're not your employee. So please stop. That's the end of this.
All
Move
right.
on to the next
For the
one.
record, I feel the chair is out of order.
Great, I appreciate that. Anybody
You're
else
welcome.
feel that that's the case? All right, let's move on. All right, let me change these numbers as we go forward. Move this partially out of the way so I can see the right document. All right, now, where did I write it down? Here it is. 2953. 29. Let me save this as a new file. Save a copy. That's interesting. That it is there, yep. So let's do this. All right. Town government. 29. All right. 2. Nine, 5, 6, 240. Education, 11. All right. All right, so were there any other questions about the school budget? All right, we'll move on to the last item here, which is the CIP. Chris, can you speak about that?
Yeah, CIP, there's really not much to talk about. It hasn't changed from the first meeting. We cut back everything on there other than the roof payments that we have to make to Putnam Bank, or they'll come and take the roof off the school, the payments for the leased plow trucks that are in there. We put a little bit of money in for the oil tank replacement, which has to get done. So it's down to I hate to use this term, but it's pretty much down to bare bones in terms of where we could fund it for this year. And we were coming in at a total CIP request for funding of $263,870, which is down from this current fiscal year's $284,828.
All right, thank you, Chris. Anybody have any questions about the CIP?
Chris, I would ask that you tap into those PRE lines as much as you need to and can.
Yes, I think that will be happening now that, we take a look at how some of that money is built up. And one of the things, we had a discussion at last night's Board of Selectmen meeting about how it'd be nice to see this, Parks and Rec actually start to use some of the funds they have there for some maintenance and improvement in facilities, and really start putting together some assets for the town. But yeah, definitely they are in play.
I'd like to see the library doing it as well. They're sitting with 130 in there.
Town government, capital improvement.
Okay, Jeanette? All right,
Yeah,
yes. All right, hi, yes, all right, yeah. I know we are going to look into the PRE, just like you said, we didn't realize we could be using that, so we are going to use that. And also, I just want to say, speaking on behalf of us, we're really going to try very hard this year. As I say, we have tried all the other years, but we're going to try to see about all the expenses that we are doing for the library. But I just want to say, just in comparison, because I was a math major, we are only what our total library, funds, whatever, library expenses compared to the school, we are exactly 1% of what the school is going for their school budget. We are exactly 1% of what the school is.
Yep.
So I'm just thinking for our 1%, we're giving the town the best bang for the buck, really, what we've been trying to provide for the town. So,
I agree with you fully. I mean, the proportionates are just whacked.
yes.
I mean, I appreciate what you're doing, and thank you for looking at. Christine, have you gotten together with our illustrious town treasurer so that things can get coordinated and done correctly? What we found this year with that 28 grand.
Okay, what we're gonna do this. I think our library director has had one meeting with her already, but we have a letter that was, I think, posted on your website here, because this would be before my time. I guess they got the lawyers involved years ago, whatever, about 13 years ago. And it said about library fund and donations. I guess a lawyer had to come into the picture, and they said what we were doing, we're following the general state statutes as far as, special funds and what is incumbent and what isn't. But what we're gonna do, Jeanette, is this. We're going to have it all delineated, so we'll know what we can spend, what of these fines and fees we can spend, and what is encumbered. Like if people give us $3,000 or $4,000 used for special things, we can't touch that. But anything we can use out of special savings, we're going to use.
Okay, but again, some of the practices that showed up as far as who can write a check, how do the invoices come in, how does the money get deposited? So I would appreciate it from the Board of Finance, so we don't have to revisit this next year.
No.
I mean, last year we looked at the fire department and they helped us out understand them. This happened to be your year to understand, so that if you would work with the selectmen and Lori, our treasurer, to make sure things are bookkeeping done well, that would give me a lot of confidence.
All right, yes, we intend to do that. And as I said, if you look at this April 24, 2008 letter that went from the lawyers up to Cheryl LaFlame, she was Miller, she was the town treasurer then. It explains it all. So it's like, it seems like history's repeating itself 13 years later, but we have been okay. It's just that we're going to spell everything out every month, so we will be okay working with the treasurer.
If Cheryl had imparted that wisdom upon the finance board, that might not be the case. However, I've never heard that before. I only heard from Cheryl that she disagreed. So basically what I'm going to ask is the town attorney, the Board of Selectmen asks the town attorney to figure out what's supposed to be done with dues and fees and monies collected by the library.
Right. See, Mrs. Chairman, what we're doing now is, I guess, because of what's going on with the COVID world now that we live in, we're not collecting fines and fees anymore. And in fact, a library director told me we're offering the curbside pickup. People can make fax copies and other regular copies without charging money, because we don't want to even exchange money. So people have that benefit too from us right now. We're giving them free copies and, things for free right now. But as I say, we are going to delineate our special savings, the 28,000, into each line item. If there's 3,000 there, we can't use 4,000, whatever it is, and then what we can use. But I guess from now on, we're not collecting fines and fees.
No, but I would, I guess, bottom line, just work with Lori.
Okay, yes.
Make sure she's comfortable from the town's point of view.
Yeah, if I may, just out from the town perspective, these accounts, because they fall under the town's federal tax ID, are actually, the town is ultimately responsible to ensure that they're managed correctly. And we are going to work with the treasurer and the financial authorities to ensure that these accounts are managed effectively into really for the protection of both the library board and the town.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and with that said, I think the other issue was that it's the auditor was one of the people that actually questioned the way that it's currently running, and that the town did not have enough financial control and oversight over those accounts.
And when was this, Mr. Chairman? When did that happen? When? The
Last
auditor?
year and during the course of the audit this year.
This year? Okay.
Last and this.
All right. No.
And I don't know, previous to that, I hadn't, you know, the thing is, it's hard for an auditor to know whether something is right or wrong if he doesn't know what's happening at all, which is pretty much the case.
Well, as I say, this letter's just come to my attention myself too. This letter back 13 years ago. So,
Yeah, but
Can you
just,
send us a copy of that letter?
what was this now?
Can you send us a copy of that
Oh, yes,
letter?
I believe it went to you. If you don't have it now, we will definitely make sure you get a copy of it. I thought it was sent to you, but we will. It's dated April 24th, 2008 from Wallace, Smith, and Palmer. They were the lawyers, and I believe they were the town lawyers too back then too, of the town of Canterbury. And it says everything specifies everything that we're following the state statutes, and everything was hunky-dory back then. So I didn't know, you know, everything was fine. They went into it. So, but yes, we'll make sure you get a copy of this.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure that I remember when that happened. However, I don't remember that being the outcome. And
Okay.
well, we'll just leave it at that.
Okay. All right.
Thank you for looking into it.
All right. You're welcome, Jeanette. Yeah.
All right. So let's look, we're at the approve a 2021 budget. And preparing for that, I brought up the spreadsheet that we've been working with, and I changed the numbers to indicate what the changes indicated. It looks like, let me make sure revenue stays the same. 26.4 with a 98% collection rate brings us to about 34,000 below the 10% net fund balance.
Ray, we looked at that. I thought we were either targeting 0 or we had like 11 there last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this town came in lower, Mike.
Well, yeah, that should make that number better.
Right. Well, let's see what it looked like. It was 67.
Are we taking out the additional savings that Chris said last week?
Yep. Oh, the additional savings from last week.
Chris, remember you said you were going to eke out another whatever it was?
Oh, yeah. 190 total.
Yes. Yeah. Ray's got it.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yep. It's here and here, I think.
So it was the
So it should be down in here. Let me make sure where I've added these numbers together, because this was, one of them was from the library. Chris, was yours 190?
That's correct, 190.
And then the school was 25?
Yes.
All right, so
I'll answer for that.
15. Where did that go?
You subtract it out and it becomes the
Right, I'm just trying to figure out where I subtracted it out though.
it'd be P14, no? That 320,000.
P14. See, it's not there.
Go over one.
12 and 11 are there, which is the difference between revenue and expense. I think we're in better shape than what this is showing us. I'm just trying to figure out what the heck happened to additional appropriations, unreserved fund balance audited. That didn't add it.
Oh,
I detained.
it's the $320,008 on P14. That's the remaining. That's the amount we need after you've returned the end of year.
Okay, so this number is being calculated against the wrong value. I should be able to add this and this then. K14. So that's the fund balance used. Okay, so that took it down to 320.
So-
K14.
So you're adding the 252, 261, plus the 190 being returned, plus the 25 the school says they're giving back. And we're up to 467, 261, and we're still short.
I don't know where what numbers you're mentioning, Jeanette.
I used line 27, your net fund balance, we
Yep.
would take it down to 0. And then we added the 190 that Chris is returning, and the 25 that the school is returning.
All right, so let's look at this. Equal. So, K27 plus P18
Yep.
plus P20. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And that we are still short.
Yep. So K14 minus K14.
Oh, you know what, Ray? There's something wrong with your total expenditures. This might be close to figuring it out.
Yeah, that's not right there. I'll tell you that much.
I just did I didn't even look at it, but I did the math here, 15,006,392.
Here we go again with this goofy thing. All right, let me just do this.
Oh, Mike, you're saying the top 3 don't add up, right?
Yeah, that
It's not- yeah, it's
total
not even-
expenditures wasn't
It's
right.
adding this number for whatever reason.
Okay. Because the 67,747 that was
Oh, I
hanging
know.
out there in
Yep.
red was the same number from it last
Why
week.
that is. It's
Yeah.
because we were having problems with this field the last time.
Yep.
So we used that instead of this. So this number is actually the wrong, this is that's the right number. No. Education, 11,8 or 11,7,8. So he isn't even right there.
Yeah. This is probably going to fix it because those are.
Yep, 11. Yeah, I just wanted to bring, I noticed that it was not right, so I wanted to make sure we took the time to see how I screwed it up before we just agreed to it. That's not a K. Get out of there. All right, so that should be that. No. Oh. 11,8. That's the wrong number. It should be
That's
1176, right? Or 11,786.
Yeah, 282. Looks like a 5 in there.
There we go. 11. It is a 5. Six. And this is going to equal that look better?
It's not what I'm seeing. Hold on.
Okay. So let's try it over here.
You got to change the town budget. I thought you changed that.
You know what? I backed them out. And then
Hold on. What did Chris say for his budget? Chris, can you confirm that?
2956.
5.6. You
Yeah,
got 7.
our bottom line was 2956
Okay.
240.
Okay, this is fixing it, Ray, because that was another couple 20.
Okay, education's there.
15,006,392 is what I got
Yeah.
total.
What I have.
Total revenues 14. So that should be the difference between 11 and 12. Yeah. Let's make sure this is doing the right. That's coming from the other side. K8 through K10. Okay, total expenditures, K8 through K10. On the other side, leaves us a difference of 504. Okay, and 504 minus, where were we at with the, is that the last one I did? K20, K14. It gets confusing when I get all these scribbly things out here. K27, that's that. P18. Yep, P18 and P20. This, and this equals that. So we're still 100 something off. Because we need 504.
Well, the 34 off.
Okay, so cut 5
255.
minus. My dog's upset.
Is that because our numbers aren't working?
She says she wants dinner. That's definitely not right. K14, R26, R26 is that, which is 27 plus these two numbers. So 3, 4, 40, 4, 7, yep. And then this is K14.
You want to add those?
It's an add, yeah, it's a, let's see this way or the other way. There we go.
And that's the 34,507, which is over on T17 or whatever.
Yep.
That's puzzling to me because it was 67,7. What was it? 67,747 last week, and we asked.
Yeah, because we went and looked at one something. I know we did. We fumbled around with it to see what would happen if we changed something. And, let's look at the numbers one more time. Town 295. Oh, that's it. Town 2956 240.
Yeah.
CIP 263,870. School 11,786,282. So all those added together. Oh, is this? 5002. That's not right. What's up with that? Let's try clearing that out again. Yeah, there's a problem there. That's still not right.
No, that's you're looking at the bottom. The sum shows a 15,006,392.
This number right here, total expenditure, is wrong.
I think that's right.
Well, that's
what I'm
right.
doing.
I did it. That's what I came up with.
Well, it shows a sum of, okay, I'm sorry, 15,006,37 or 39.
Yep.
2. That's correct. Okay. So there's revenue 14,501. Go back here, 14,501. 14,501.
It was 14,501 and what?
602.
602. Yeah, so it's 504,790 is what we need.
All right, we can adjust the collection. It's within 0.5% in collection. So if we went to,
That's putting up to 98.5.
Yeah, that was 98.5. This is 98.3. 98.3 is pretty much a wash. And it was 98.
You had 98.5 last week.
Did we?
Yep.
Oh, we moved it up then.
That's how we screwed up. So let's go 98.4.
Okay.
All
That's
right,
good.
there we go. Now we're golden.
All right.
All right, so
Because that
That's what we got.
11,000, the 11,000 that was there with 98.5, that's the number that looked familiar from last week.
yep. And I knew what you were saying. I was looking at my numbers here too. Like something's not right.
So you said, what was the collection rate? 98.4 then.
It is 98.4.
Okay.
What
All
do we
right,
usually,
so-
what do we usually have for a collection rate?
It was 99 and a half.
I was 99, 98 before that. It's between 90, 98 and 99. You know, I don't think there's any right answer here at this point. I mean, if you look, my wife brought to my attention that the governor was talking about next year and maybe following somebody's current summer school operating plan, which I don't know if he doesn't realize that not as many kids go to school in summer school as during the regular year. Or, you know, if you say 10 kids per classroom, to us that means that you need basically at least double the classrooms, right? At least, because we have some that are 23, 24 kids, right?
Yes.
So, you know, if you look at that, we don't have the building space to do that. So you can't just, if you said it tomorrow, there's no way we could do it.
Well, you do it by doing split scheduling. Some
Well,
kids
yeah,
come in on
that's-
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, and then you rotate the next week. Norwich
But
was,
each kid still has to get the certain number of school days, school hours, or whatever, so that would have to be changed, right?
okay, actually, Kelly Junior High did that years ago in Norwich. Now, I'm talking good 45 years ago. They went on split scheduling. You would rotate your days. So there's possibilities of figuring it. It's just the cleaning between the kids that becomes an issue. I mean, I was going to school till 4, 5 o'clock at night because of the split scheduling and the staggering. So there's ways to do
So,
it.
You know, and again, until, you know, I don't know, until we hear something about how that's going to go.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of that drives what your collection rate is going to be, because it drives a lot of how many parents can go back to work. You know, how much are, you know, who's paying child care, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, again, I think, you know, we've addressed that we think collection rate is going to be lower. We hope it's not going to be. And aside from that, we got to go with the numbers that we've got that we can feel comfortable with. So, James, you got something you want to say?
No.
Okay, because there's somebody. Yeah, let me put you back on mute. You're overdriving here. There we go. Okay. All right. So, with that said, is anybody? We're in the approved budget stage. So, let me make the motion, and then, well, you know, for the sake of discussion. All right. So I'm going to make a motion.
Can you go back to the revenue, the cover sheet that we work with?
Yep. Let me move that out of the way. Come on, expenses.
There we go.
All right, I'm gonna make a motion to approve. Yeah, the way I'm looking at it is that we'll approve a budget, and then if we, you know, basically the next step is to actually, let's propose, I'll make a motion to propose this budget, and then the next step will be to approve it. That makes sense to everybody then?
Yep.
Okay, so I make a motion to propose a fiscal year 2021 town budget of $2,956,240. Capital improvement 263,870. Education budget 11786,282. based on a 2019 grand list, a mill worth $374,353, collection rate of 98.4. That's my
Second.
motion. You second that, Mike?
Second, yep.
All right,
Who
Karen.
seconded?
Mike,
Mike.
did you get all those numbers, Karen?
Yeah, let me make sure.
Okay,
Okay,
read
you
'em
got
back.
a motion to propose a fiscal year 2020-2021 town budget, 2956240, CIP 263870, education 11786282. Based on the 2009 grand list, a mill equals 374353. In a collection rate of 98.4.
And I'm sorry, and I'll add to that motion if Mike would second this, as I do it is, and a mill rate of 26.4 to support those numbers.
Second again.
Okay, so that's the motion, Karen?
Yeah,
All right, so that's what we have in front of us. The floor is yours. Well, Jeanette?
Yes.
Well, we're just discussing
Oh,
right
we're
now.
just discussing. I thought we were voting on a proposal.
Okay, does anybody have anything they want to discuss further about the proposed budget? We got Lori in.
No,
And just for the public, the folks that are listening, this is where we're, this is where the end of the work the easy work stops. On our next motion, we're going to actually vote to apply this and send out tax bills. So if you have something that you want to say with regard to the budget, this is probably your best time to say it. Otherwise, we're kind of stuck agenda-wise. We can't go
Now,
back.
in prior years, this would be the vote to send it to town meeting or
Exactly. It would be the vote to send it to the referendum via town meeting, adjourn town meeting.
And the last piece would be to approve the mill after the vote. So we're sort of, the executive orders are skipping that middle portion.
Yeah, and normally so I'm going to say, that was adjourned town meetings. Town meeting doesn't get a vote, so to speak. At that point, it's an automatic to referendum, just by the way it's procedurally done. So you're exactly right. This is kind of I don't know what we like it to. Whether just if anybody has anything they wanted to speak to about it, please.
well, I think we've done the steps because last week we entertained public input, which there happened to be none. We discussed it and we brought back, which is essentially the town hearing where people have input. We are now taking it back, and this is the point we'd send it to the selectmen. The only thing we don't do this year is send it to the selectmen. We just set the mill rate, and people have had input this night if they so chose. So we're actually taking more input from people than we would have in the past, because at this stage we wouldn't be
There's no
taking.
vote, but yeah, that's the tough part. I just think
And the other part is people, I don't know if those probably be taken along, but when you sign into Zoom and you speak and your name shows up and all that, I mean, it's a lot different than standing in a voting booth and voting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you feel, whether you should or not, you feel more free when people are not looking at you and know what you proposed or what you like and what you don't like.
But I think we've done a tremendous job keeping it to zero, and that's
zero is a good, zero is where we,
the best our town can ask for
That's
is
right.
zero, and we're giving it to them. Everybody worked together to give it to them, and hopefully that zero increase will encourage people to pay their taxes the best they can.
Mhm.
And I'm sure that if Natalie, I'm sure would work with people if they had financial constraints. She would work with them. So that's a word that people should take away from this meeting, that the town will work with people that are tough, and please pay your taxes. We do the best we can by not increasing your taxes.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, you guys have all done a superlative job in getting us to this point. My only concern doesn't involve any of us, just
Sure.
involves what the future is going to hold. And to be honest with you, I don't know that, the question I asked myself earlier today is, if you were going to throw everything to the wind and just say, we're going to come up with a budget that is, no matter this is what we're going to spend next year, I don't think there's any way we could do that. Even if we came up with some ridiculously high number. So,
Well, to that
at least
point,
this way, the understanding is, we're going to be zero for now. We're praying for, everything's the best with COVID and everything else that's going on. And if that's so, then we're golden. If not, then we may have to address it through other means.
well, I would look to be golden and not have to address it, considering there are increases in some of the budgets. One is
Yeah,
jail.
but there, you have to agree though, there are some mitigating or not factors that can't.
Understandable, but there are some controls that can be put in place right away.
Yep.
We come back with hard freezes come October, November, that perhaps we should all start with that in mind. Right now, don't spend what you don't need. Open those cupboards and see how many pencils are stashed in there.
Yeah, I think Chris had mentioned that he's already implemented that for the town, or will as soon as the budget comes up. As for the school board, we certainly have to ask Nancy to bring that up to their board and bring that to fruition for them as well. Especially knowing how much we don't know this time around.
Chris, can I ask you to make a change to your Excel sheet? It says the mill rate assumption last year, 26.2. If you'll change that second line, the second mill rate to 26.4. So it just shows the mill rate change from last year, 0. That's on column.
Oh, here on this sheet?
The Excel revenue sheet. Yeah, that's from 2 years
Oh, the
ago.
only thing I'm afraid of is what it's going to do. Back up. Yeah, so
Well, okay.
that's how it calculates the mill rate change.
Yeah, just leave it that way. Take it out.
Well,
Oh,
but I
so
was saying make it 26.4
That's what it was last year.
so that
There we go.
so that it shows a 0.
That works.
Yeah.
I was just afraid that you're going to see like a ripple across
Oh.
the spreadsheet.
Fair enough.
All right. So does anyone have any other comments, concerns? Anything you want to bring up? All right, I'm not seeing anybody, so I'm going to call this, call the motion to vote. I vote in support. I vote yes. Jeanette?
Yes,
Mike?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Matthew?
Yes.
Rob?
Yep.
And hopefully there's no other board members online. Excellent. Okay, that motion carries.
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't here.
It's all right. It was unanimous, 5 voice.
All right.
Made it easier. All right, next on the agenda. That's not the agenda. And the pug is upset now. June 24th. Which must be over here. There it is. All right, maybe we won't have to deal with Zoom after this year. All right,
here's a question. Have we gone through a reeval where people's reevaluations have gone up? What's the status on that?
yeah, there's a
That-
weird now. Go ahead, Chris.
Good. It's a work in progress, and we're going to have the finalized numbers on the reval in October, and that will impact the grand list for the next budget cycle.
Okay, it doesn't affect this one. All right, thank you.
No.
I
You're
didn't
welcome.
want to go back to ground zero.
Chris, are you at the office?
Yes.
Do you have the email that Natalie sent about the bill dates?
No, she sent that one. She sent that to you. She shared that with me verbally, but I don't have that.
Well, it's October.
Well, yeah, I think the only date it was a concern is if she could get the tax bills out before July
Right.
1st.
Right. I think if we do it tonight, we're already all hands on deck. Angel, the assessor, is gonna have to plug in her numbers tomorrow. And so we should be good. But I didn't, yeah, no, she sent that missive to you. I wasn't in on that one.
Okay, so is that July 1st, right? Or is it July 30th?
For due date,
Yeah,
it would be July 1st, and they would be due by the 30th. I believe that would be.
right, but that's also been extended, so.
And that's been extended with the executive order. There's the automatic deferral to October 1st.
Right, so the second,
We'll choose
the second bill date's January 1st then, right?
1st. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, that hasn't changed.
all right.
So
So,
our bill dates, July 1st, bills go out. Do you put on there that they're due the 30th, but state deferment is until October 1st?
I won't speak for the tax collector on that, but I would say, yes, I believe that information will be provided on there. Yeah,
So
I think she may have,
yeah. And then she also actually put it on, yeah, she posted something just the other day. We got something up there, so.
it's not there.
So when we
Yeah, it
make,
might be on the homepage.
so when we set our bill dates, are we setting it to October 1st?
No.
I don't think we should. We do July.
July,
Okay.
definitely. I
July.
remember that was
That's
for
the
sure.
governor's
So,
impact,
payable tax collector. During this time, per directive, no customers. Canterbury is not a blah, 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 blah. Interest accrues. She doesn't really say. But what I can do, if those dates for some reason are not correct, I can call us back to a quick meeting, and we can fix the dates. And you know that if you guys could be available sometime, let's say tomorrow, you know, we can do it tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening. And I'll send out an email if it's necessary. I'll send out an email and have Karen call around.
Right.
Okay.
Now, the note that Natalie posted, it's on the homepage on the Canterbury Town webpage, and I'll just summarize it for you. He says if the budget gets passed on June 24th today, it will take about 2 to 3 weeks to get tax bills printed and ready for mailing. We will mail the bills out mid-July because of the COVID pandemic. The Board of Selectmen adopted a resolution allowing for a 90-day grace period rather than the normal 30-day one for all bills due on July 1st, 2020. This means that the last day to pay taxes without incurring interest will be October 1st, 2020.
And that it says for all bills due on July 1st, so we should set it for July 1st.
Right.
Okay. All right. And if that's not the case, I'll give you guys a call and we'll put together I can't do it tomorrow because you have to notice the meeting. Yeah, I think we're going to be fine, but I'll let you know if there's any issues. All right, so I'm going to make a motion to set the fiscal year 2021 mill rate at 26.4 with bill dates of July 1st, 2020 and January 1st, 2021. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Vote Christine's eye for one.
I just say I agree with the July 1st date because the executive order would be a deferral from that, not a deferral from a later date.
I don't know where the mute is. I don't know if there's mute.
Oh, we got you. Okay, so all right. So there being no further discussion, I vote yes. Jeanette,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
Rob.
Yep.
Motion carries. We have a budget.
Do you have to do a motion to approve the numbers? Because you did, your first motion was to propose the numbers.
Well, the mill rate set on numbers, so
Okay.
That's a good point, though.
So you did the proposal, we discussed it, and then you said I make that a motion. We're voting on the motion. It was unanimous.
Okay, yeah,
You did. You
yeah,
didn't
and you know,
repeat the motion.
if there's complaint about it, or the state doesn't like it or whatever, we'll re-adjourn the meeting and make a different motion for them. But since we're all on the same page with what it is, then
I think Karen-
hopefully we'll be all right. All right, floor is open for any public comment.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, good, okay, yeah, 'cause- no, I had to switch to my phone. My father, I know I'm very sentimental, but my father's computer is no longer working anymore. I don't know what happened, it threw me off. So I just want to, I know, I'm sentimental, but I need a new computer for myself now. The only thing I wanted to mention was, at the end, I loved when Jeanette said a week or two ago, she was saying about, about people paying their taxes, to give like a 1% discount. People pay their taxes right away in full. If they're going to pay like we always pay the whole year in full. But if you did that, I don't know. See, I don't know. I missed the last 20 minutes. But did you make a motion at all about that? If people paid right away to get like just 1% off of their bill, does that sound good? I know Jeanette mentioned that, but I don't know what happened to that.
I think they kind of laughed at me and said, oh, that sounds good, but never did anything, Christine.
Oh, is that okay? I was wondering. No, because I agree with you. That might be the incentive for some people to hurry up and pay their taxes right away.
Even if you pay the half year ahead, yeah, because that would put money into our town. But my question on that, thinking it over, Christine, how would that affect the banks? Would the banks all jump on it?
I don't know.
That would be a bookkeeping nightmare.
Oh, what?
Would it?
Oh, because it's one. They have to go and calculate everybody's 1% off. You mean? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, the other part is that
I wanted 10.
we adjusted the collection rate down. I mean, we can say that. You could say anything, really, regard to how we tried to anticipate that or make it better. But the overall, everybody kind of got the same. Everybody needs to pay their taxes, and yeah, because it would be a mess to try and figure all that out.
Let's see. Okay, all right, but I thought it was a good suggestion, Jeanette. So there you go. That's just my 2 cents. So go ahead. Yep.
So you and I will pay 1% less.
All right, sounds good to me.
Christine, you pay 1% less, it's going to cost you 18% in interest. Don't do it.
No, it's 1% less taken off totally. We weren't going to pay it at all. No, our tax bill would be 99% of what it was. No, we're not going for, no, we don't want to pay that much in interest. Are you kidding me?
All right, so anyone else? I don't see any.
It's been a long haul, guys. Thanks.
It has been, and our next meeting is sometime in July. What? July
8th, officially, by the calendar.
By the calendar.
May
July 8th. You are very, very correct.
A question would be, on that meeting, can we have the minutes so we can catch up on minutes?
Oh, yeah.
Get away from us.
But yeah, in reality, we have them. I just, as these things have been dragging on long enough.
Didn't you say they're on the website?
Yes, they are all up on the website if you want to review them ahead of time.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll approve them. I don't know, did Natalie put them up? Did she put them up or?
I didn't see him today.
No, Natalie
All right,
has them.
well, Karen has them. She'll do tonight or tomorrow. And I'll get them all up on the website within the next 2 days.
Okay. Can you also
She-
put up?
She has them in her office. We've sent them into her. She just, I thought she posted them.
I looked today around 4:30 and didn't see them.
Okay.
What came after. But could we also, on the Board of Finance website, put the approved documents that we just had? The ones from the selectmen, the CIP, and the town, and the school.
Yep.
Because I'd like to drop copies of them and keep them in reference for as we go along throughout the year.
Okay.
And your revenue sheet, that cover sheet.
Yeah, I've got to send that to the state anyway. Michelle D'Amico, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Could you possibly send me a copy of your overall?
The budget?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent that this afternoon.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep.
And Chris said,
Just
all right, go ahead.
Just let me know if you didn't get it. I can resend it.
Gotcha, no problem. And Chris said Pat sent theirs, so I should have everything we need then. All right, so if there's no further discussion.
Ray, one more thing. Is the July meeting, will it be at this Zoom or something different?
I would assume it's going to be Zoom So,
But I mean, this same Zoom meeting, it's because we, this was the budget Zoom, but we could just. keep
oh,
it-
no. I'll put up another one and I'll post it on our site as well.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, or I'll just convert this one over to a reoccurring regular Board of Finance meeting, but that's probably the easiest way. That way.
Well, I think Chris is opening town hall the week of the 4th.
Yeah, well, I am not going.
Let's ease into it.
Yeah.
Let's not jump right into it.
Yeah. Anyhow, okay, so I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion, we have a second.
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 Rob.
You let Rob-
Rob.
All right, all in favor signify by signing off. Have a good night.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night. Good work,
All right,
everybody.
good night now.
Good night, guys.
Bye-bye.
Be safe. Thank you.
Wait a minute. Stop share. And
Where are you getting?